This is Cruise Control. Your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Everything you need to know about new and used cars. Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air. Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin. Because you're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control. Cruise Control.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cruise Control. We're here again. This is your on-air automotive magazine, and of course, you can count on us to have lots and lots of material to talk about because the auto industry is just going nuts. It's everything. And we, of course, I'm Les Jackson, and that guy is Fred Staab. You know him. And Fred's holding the very heavy stack of information.
Well, or at least one page.
It's a bigger stack than that.
Yeah, that's right, Les. This is kind of a interesting story here that we're starting with because you and I have been talking about Stellantis and the fact that, their CEO was kind of taken to task by the dealers. They said their prices are too high. We don't have product. Well, it looks like he's doing something about it. They are repricing the Jeep Gladiator, which is interesting. We'll talk about what that means. And they're also bringing back the Voyager as a less expensive minivan. Not as a Plymouth, though.
Oh, no. Yeah, I wonder. Anyway, I've always loved the Plymouth logo. We'll talk about that. This is interesting. And we'll also be talking about the GR Corolla, and it gets some big updates.
Yeah, that three-cylinder pumps out 300 horsepower, and hey, it's getting even more updates coming up for 2025. And yes, you can, Les. You can get a brand new car for under $20,000, in some cases well under $20,000. We're going to take a look at the Versa from Nissan, and they've just come out with their 2025 pricing, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that car is really a bargain. And why left lane hoggers could be a thing of the past. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing actual electronic signs on the highways around D.C. that say left lane is for passing, not for cruising.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes vehicles going too slow can be almost worse than speeders because it makes everyone go crazy and start cutting around, and it creates more problems, I think. But, we'll look at this new tech. That's also from Nissan. We'll talk about that. And then this is a great story you and I are going to talk about, the window sticker, the Monroney, right? It was originally from a politician in Oklahoma because everyone was cheating on, what they were charging people for cars. The window sticker may be going electronic, and we're going to kick around whether that's a good idea or not. And I know you'll have some opinions, and so will I.
I certainly will.
We'll get to that when we come back on Cruise Control.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. Fred Staab and Les Jackson taking you on a ride around the automotive industry. We're going to start, Les, with Stellantis. Stellantis has decided to reprice the Jeep Gladiator. Now, what the heck does that mean? They're going to reposition and reprice this. This vehicle, of course, is very popular, and I believe used to start around $50,000 and work its way up.
And we both agreed that price seemed to be terribly inflated. I mean, the profit on that has to be enormous.
Yes, I would agree. So what they have done, what Stellantis has done, is they're calling it repositioning, and they've done. They have said that what they're doing, they're going to start it at $39,995, including the new standard 8-speed automatic transmission. They're going to add a lot of standard equipment that you normally wouldn't get on this, including power locks and power windows. Imagine spending $50,000 for it previously and getting roll-up windows.
Oh man! Just finding out that if you had waited 6 months, you'd be getting it for $20,000 less.
Yes. So standard power locks, door locks, and power windows. There's a couple of new colors: Fathom Blue and Military Olive Drab, which we know what that's inspired by. And then,
of course,
I never thought this would be on Jeeps, but it is active cabin ventilation that's available now that allows customers to precondition their vehicle's cabin, evacuating hot air in the warmer months via the Jeep Connect mobile app. You know how people used to do that? They used to take the doors off, flip the windshield down, and take the top off, right?
Yeah, or just roll the windows down and, let air come in. But
no, we don't do that anymore. We don't do that.
we gotta precondition everything while we're having our latte inside Starbucks.
Exactly.
Or lately, your pumpkin caramel latte.
Well, now, we may differ here. I do like pumpkin spice. I just had some pumpkin spice
caramel?
coffee. No, I don't go caramel. That's a bridge too far. But I do go.
It certainly is.
I do like pumpkin spice. I had some pumpkin spice coffee this morning.
I like the individual spices, but anyway, this isn't. and so much for the Cruise Control cooking hour.
Cooking with Les and Fred. Yes, yeah. So anyway, repositioning. Stellantis talked about this, and it was a high bar, $50,000. Now it's significantly reduced, and you get power locks and power windows and an 8-speed auto. But they haven't stopped there, Stellantis, because over at Chrysler, they've brought back the Voyager. Of course, the Plymouth Voyager was around for years. It was kind of the entry-level get into a minivan without spending $50,000.
Right.
And once again, Stellantis had been getting to the point where everything was very expensive. You remember what happened with the Ram trucks? All their models were very high-end, and the mix was off, and, they made some problematic choices. Well, this was probably in the works, bringing back the Voyager, but I think it's a case of great timing. So it returns as a Chrysler. Of course, it is going to be the entry-level model of the Pacifica, but it is quite well equipped. Standard content includes a 10.1-inch Uconnect screen, a 7-inch cluster, a super console, Caprice leatherette seats. Isn't it interesting they used the term Caprice?
Yeah, an old Chevy term.
Leatherette seats. Includes second and third row stow-and-go seating system, power sliding doors and liftgate, driver 8-way power seats, heated front seats and steering wheel, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, spacious interior. Of course, comes at no extra charge. Oh, if you want the spacious interior, we're going to have to add like another $1,000 on. I think this is a great idea, don't you?
Well, I think so. So many families are complaining about the price of big people haulers,
right?
Especially SUVs, bigger people haulers, and to bring that in, it's attractive.
Yeah,
it's got nice colors. We know that they're very comfortable inside.
Well, we'll tell you a little bit more about the new Chrysler Voyager when we come back. We're also going to tell you about the GR Corolla. 300 horsepower from a 3-cylinder engine. That is just crazy. We'll be right back.
Cruise Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. We were talking about the Voyager, the resurrected Voyager. Great machine.
Yeah.
Good price, affordable, as they themselves say, and it's loaded with the necessary stuff. You get manual seats, but so what?
Yeah.
I love the stow and go rear seats. That's just incredibly useful.
Yes.
So the important thing, is if people would just get over their bias against minivans. Personally, I don't see much difference between a minivan and an SUV.
Well, I do. It's easier to load big things into.
That's right. Everything, yeah. The difference I see is it's much more convenient and better gas mileage, more comfortable to ride in.
Yeah, you stow and go, man. You fold those seats down. You truly have a van that you can basically move in. Little by little. You could move a room of furniture in there if you were careful about putting it. Hey, ask me how I know. I've done it.
Well, I've taken a number of road trips in minivans. Scheduled them, and it's really just so convenient.
Yeah. Now, someone asked, can you get the hybrid version, like you can get a hybrid version of the Pacifica? No, you can't. And you can't get an all-wheel drive version either. These are just front-wheel drive. But hey, it's not a bad vehicle. 287 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, which is plenty. I don't think we have pricing on it yet. No.
No. Well, I know it starts at under 40, like 39.
Which is good when you figure what the Pacifica would go for. That was getting very high. They have those premium interiors. I think it's a great idea. I'd like to see Stellantis do this across their lineup. I mean, really just say, hey, how can we make some great packages that people can afford and easily go in, take a page from Kia and Hyundai. Hey, you buy this vehicle, it's got everything in it. It's not like, oh, it's cheap, but I wanted heated seats, or it's a good price, but it has the tiny display in there. This has everything in it. It really would be a great family vehicle. And yeah, it's true. You're watching an automotive show, and unlike other automotive shows, we like minivans because they make sense. And sometimes, I'm just gonna call an audible here, Les. You know it. You love it when I talk sports here. But let's keep on the theme here with the Versa, and then we'll get to the GR Corolla. Okay.
Good point.
So this, of course, is the Nissan Versa, and this is new for 2025. A couple of new things here. But you say, hey, every car costs me $45,000. I don't have money for that. I just want a good car to commute to. I want a great first car. I want something that's got safety, all the new safety systems in it. Well, we can get you into this. The Versa S 5-speed manual for $17,190. It is the least expensive car in the U.S.
And there's a lot in there. This is not the equivalent of a $17,000 car, or what they used to call entry-level car 25 years ago, where basically it was rubber floor mats and
crank windows.
And a simple radio and all that. This is everything, the safety stuff and just everything you need.
Yeah.
And maybe for a few extra dollars, some extra things you want.
Well, let's talk about the safety. Nissan Safety Shield 360, standard on all Versa grades, are automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, rear automatic braking, high beam assist, and blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert. And then you can, if you step up to the Versa SR, which I'll talk about pricing in a minute, it adds intelligent cruise control, right? So So let's go through the range.
Driver alertness.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is the things of, as I always say, automatic high beams and that. Things like that used to be high-end.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I love them. I just love them.
So, okay, it starts with a 5-speed manual, 17,190. The Versa S Xtronic, 18,990. The Versa SV, 20,490. And then the top of the range Versa SR, 21,190, which I bet you can even get some money off of that. I bet you can get $2,000 off of that, don't you think?
I think you can do some negotiating. Probably, I don't know, probably 5% off of MSRP if you're a good negotiator.
You got to add destination, which is 1,140, right. But that's
can't get away from that.
Just the way it is. But think about this. Once again, not a powerful car, 122 horsepower, 1.64, 40 miles to the gallon. So the scenario is you have to commute to a job and you want a safe vehicle to commute in, reliable, and one that gets good mileage and doesn't break the bank. All in for the top of the range Versa SR, 21,190, probably less out the door. It's a pretty good deal, I think.
Yeah, or you've got to buy a car for the twins now that they're out
Do you have to buy
school.
2 cars or one?
No,
car?
just one.
Okay.
They're out of high school. They're going to go to the same college together, and and of course they want a Lamborghini, but they're going to get a Versa, and they're going to love it because it's warranted. It's incredibly reliable. It's you can throw a whole lot of junk in the back seat, a trunk.
Yeah, I just think it's a good idea. But we'd love to hear from our listeners. What do they think of it? I mean, sometimes I'll use a James May saying here because I really think we're on the same page. Sometimes cheap and cheerful is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're I think over the years we have gone through the entire spectrum of vehicles, from really, really expensive to really, really inexpensive, and we love them all, most of them anyway, and we try to to let people know, look, for this money, these are the things you can get.
Yeah.
And if you want more things, you need to go to this level.
Yeah, that's right. We try to cover them all. I mean, people are like, oh, you review vehicles. You probably only want to drive Lamborghinis and Bentleys. I said, they're nice, but I like to provide information to people that, hey, they're going, what kind of, $45,000. I don't have that, the average price. But you can't get anything for less than that. No, you can, and it's better than buying a used car, probably.
And I looked it up this morning. The local Nissan dealers are leasing the Versas for $149 a month.
That's almost the price of a stream.
I mean, you're paying
streaming
more for that.
Subscription.
You're paying more for that for your TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, really and truly, you got to look at it.
Yeah, I'd rather have something that started. You could easily pass inspection. You're not having to. You got to replace the whole. The struts in the front now, and it's a good idea. But hey, we want to hear from our listeners. What do you think? Would you be happy with a Versa for? You're not looking to break speed records, but you're getting there every time it starts up. You drive. And it's good to go, and you've got some features like heated exterior mirrors for the top, leather wrapped wheel for the SR. Hey, I think it's a good idea. I don't know, but if you want to have a little bit more fun when we come back, it's not $21,000. But it is a 3-cylinder engine that puts out 300 horsepower. I'm thinking, what do I want to put one of those engines in? But anyway, we're going to talk about the GR Corolla. What's new for 2025? So stay tuned to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine with Fred Staab and Les Jackson. And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred Staab and Les Jackson. We were talking about the very affordable Nissan Versa, but here's something that's a little less affordable, but a whole lot of fun. We are talking about the GR Corolla, and we have some information on it for 2025. A couple of upgrades for this. Yes, it's true. Somebody just wrote in a comment. You're kidding me. It's got a 3-cylinder engine and it puts out 300 horsepower. Yes, that is absolutely. And it's all-wheel drive too. So, and it's in a Corolla. So,
and each cylinder is as round as my head.
This sounds like a SEMA project, like.
Well, it really does, but this is a real thing.
Real thing, a real production car. And so for 2025, there's a new Premium Plus grade available for the model 2025 year. There's an increase in engine torque to 295 pound-feet. Launch control, you'll want that. Adopted.
Gotta have that.
You want that for powerful acceleration. Suspension enhancements add stability when cornering. That's pretty generic, but good. Redesigned front bumper for added cooling and aerodynamics. Suggested retail price. This is the most expensive Corolla ever, $38,860. But you'll have a heck of a lot of fun, and you'll have to buy tires every 2 or 3 months.
About it once a week, and you're not going to get it for 38.
No, that's the problem.
You can talk to them for 38, but I'm thinking 45 minimum.
Wow. Okay.
But you'd pay that much for a really hot GTI Golf.
Yeah, or even a
Mini
R32. This is R32 territory. It's it's pretty cool. Yeah, you would be you're somewhere in the GTI R32 range. Yeah. And I think it's quite the machine. The GR4 all-wheel drive system, it developed in collaboration with Toyota Gazoo Racing. I'm sorry, Toyota. Gazoo is a little thing that flies around on the Fred Flintstone show. It's a little guy from outer space. Gazoo.
That's right.
Hey, if I got one of those stickers would be going on the window with Gazoo. It has to.
This thing could get you really car sick in a hurry.
Yeah.
Doing donuts with it. And
what do you think about the 8-speed? It's still going to have the 6-speed manual transmission, which is a plus.
Right.
GTI is losing their manual transmission this year. But it's going to have the available 8-speed direct automatic transmission, paddle shifted. This might be the ultimate autocross, brand new autocross vehicle. What do you think?
Yeah. I think we're going to see these in 2 places. We're going to see these autocrossing all around the country, and we're going to see them over in Monte Carlo in the rally.
Oh yeah, it would be. It is sort of a rally vehicle when you think about it. From the factory, all the good stuff. So that 3-cylinder 1.6 liter, interesting. It's 1.6. We're just talking about the Versa that has 4 cylinders, and it's 1.6. So makes its maximum power at 6,500 RPM. Let it sing, baby. Let it sing.
I just can't. I can't lose sight of the fact that growing up with engines my whole life, that this engine is putting out 300 horsepower, and it's the size of my computer printer.
So we were talking during the break, and I always think about this. What would I put this in?
Yep.
And we had some sacrilegious moments about things we'd put it in. I'll tell you one. Here's a sacrilegious moment. What if you put it in a Cobra body or a Porsche kit car?
Oh, well, a Porsche, okay. A Cobra body, well, the problem is, the Cobras are built to accept big engines.
This is, light.
And, well, it's light, but when you throw a 427 in there with 680 horsepower,
that's not light.
that's not light. Or our Cobra.
I thought a Miata, which would be a weird
Miata
cross.
Miata would be fantastic. And I think really easy to convert it.
Yeah. Or I don't know. How about a Carmen Ghia? Or how about I don't know. I mean, put it in the comments. What would you drop this powertrain into and have fun with it? Maybe an old Datsun 210. How about that?
I just was watching Jay Leno's Garage, and they put a Chevy V8 into a 240Z.
Wow. Okay.
That's a beautiful fit. I mean, it's really a very, very nice conversion.
I've gone from cubic inch to make it light.
A
friend of mine was saying, I want a big block, 71, 72 Corvette. I said, well, you can get that power out of, even a small block. You get a 383, or get an LS, or even a punched out 350 will give you power, and it's going to be a lot lighter, and it won't feel like the nose it's being led around by its nose. But I don't know.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right. Go with lightness because with big stuff, weight begets weight.
Road hugging weight, as you always say.
Road hugging weight.
That was for our audience.
Hugh Downs.
And was that the Pinto? That said it
that
has
was the Pinto. The Pinto has more road hugging weight than the competition.
Wow. So I've got a question for you. Do you get annoyed at people that hog the left lane? I mean,
I get annoyed at everything. But yes, I do.
You just took a road trip, so were there left lane hoggers?
I did. I encountered very little of that, except in certain areas. But otherwise, when you get behind somebody who's cruising at exactly the same speed as the person in the right lane, you just want to get a marshmallow cannon and blast them, cover their whole car in it. But there's no such thing exists. And
I got a ton of pet peeves with people, cutting in and out BMW drivers. My other pet peeve. When you're driving along 3-lane, you're in the middle lane. Somebody now is just right on your side at a steady speed, right by, like if you have a 4-door sedan, right by the back door.
Exactly.
And I never did that because I thought they could easily just, I gotta get off or whatever. And I just think it's unsafe to. Unless there's traffic and you can't avoid it. But if there's I would speed up or slow down and not have another car on my side if I could avoid it.
Yeah, but in fact, cruising and rather than cruising past the vehicles in the right lanes, just cruising in the left lane causes dangerous situations. It frustrates drivers.
They go all crazy.
And, they'll go in and out and cut you off if you're out there. Just if you're in the left lane, go faster than the other traffic. It's that simple.
Well, new feature on the Nissan Armada, which is a small house you can drive for yourself on the road.
Yes, that's a family of 3 can live in one of those.
That's right. Passing assist feature is part of Nissan's ProPilot Assist 2.1 update. When you go to pass, you roll into the left lane, and then it will remind you to go back into the right lane. it will actually overtake the driver by itself, right? And then it will not pull you back into the right lane automatically, but it will remind you on the dash, move back into the right lane. Now, somebody in the comments said there ought to be like a hand that just smacks the back of your head like, hey, don't hog the left lane.
Yes.
But this is part, it will automatically, you say, I want to overtake, it will move you to the left lane, put the turn signal on, and then it will move you to the left lane, you'll overtake the car, and then it will remind you, time to move back into the right lane. I think it's a good idea. When we come back, something that may or may not be a good idea, electronic Monronis, i.e. the window sticker. What could that lead to? We'll be right back.
Cruise control.
Welcome back. Well, everybody who's bought a vehicle in the last 50 years, at least, knows about the window sticker, the Monroney, in the industry, as it's called, and it's required by federal law, and it's there for our benefit, the consumers.
And we should say where the name came from. It came from an Oklahoma Senator Monroney, named Monroney. Mike Monroney, and he was upset that you'd go into a car dealer and it's like, well, what does it cost? What do you want to pay?
That's it. How much you got?
The Automobile Information Disclosure Act in 1958 is what this label came about. And it's the window sticker price. I mean, it became part of the vernacular.
Exactly.
One of our mutual friends said before that it used to be like, well, you know, the car is $2,000, but see that tie hanging around the rear view mirror? Everyone has to buy one of those today, and that's $500. That's the rule.
You see the cigarettes in the ashtray? That's another $500.
Yeah, they're $50 a piece. Yeah, so
there was taking advantage of buyers. So this was a wonderful
good idea.
It is still federal law,
but technology may be changing it for the good or bad, right?
Yeah. Well, I happen to think. Well, first of all, let's just tell them the way it's going to work now is electronically. You'll get an electronic version of the Monroney.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to project on the car's window.
I'm not sure about that because they're talking about it as. Have you ever been in the store where they have like Kohl's does this? They have electronic pricing, which they can change remotely. So, hey, we're having a special on men's T-shirts. You know,
but where's it going to project with all the cars out in the lots and
I don't know. Maybe it will be, inside the glass. I don't know. But here's the thing. Whatever it is,
I think it's going to be a QR code sitting on the window. And
that's could be it. But here's the thing. It can be. They say it can be changed. So let's say. Hey, we've decided to decrease the price of the Ram pickup truck. So we're going to electronically change it so it's no longer $39,500, it's $37,750. But the problem is who changes it? What if the dealer can change it and just says, "Oh, that's not enough for that truck. I'm going to make it $42,000."
Well, but the actual law says that window sticker, which is created with the VIN number of that car when it's manufactured, it has to display that with the VIN number. So that you're violating federal law if you change it, but you're not violating federal law if you add an electronic extension to the window sticker.
Extension on the window stickers never come at a small price.
No, they never do. And I suspect that's the kind of thing that'll happen. This has been done for a number of years. People buying vehicles, especially really, really desirable vehicles.
Right.
There's a second sticker.
Yeah.
Or the dealer created.
Yeah. Oh, we did the fabric protection, and that's for $600, the $6 can of spray. And we've put a special coating on the carpet, and that's another $200. And hey, we've added this disgusting stripe to your vehicle that you didn't want.
And we've undercoated it for $500, which, by the way, voids the factory anti-rust warranty.
That's great. That's great. So your
dealer
away. Voided the.
Walk away, run away.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, or protection package, the door edge guards for $500.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that this article said, it said that the industry could go to dynamic pricing. So they could in effect become what they don't want the dealers to do. So, for example, they say the ID Buzz coming out, Volkswagen saying we don't want people to gouge. You know they're going to gouge. Dealers are going to get 2 of them, right, to sell. What do you think? They're not going to sell it for the sticker price, right?
No, they're not.
So what digital pricing might mean, or digital window sticker might mean, is the manufacturer can do that. They can say, hey, these are really scarce and demand is high, so we got to bump it up. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. I always say you can't stop technology, and you can't say, oh, I'm not going to do that. But I don't know if it's a good idea. I'd like to get some of our listeners' opinions on it, so drop us a comment.
I can assure you this is going to be a court case here in federal court in D.C. When it starts, because all of the consumer organizations here, who are always fighting for the consumer protection, Consumer Financial Protection Agency, Bureau, they're going to go after this. They have to. Because it's just ripe for abuse, I think.
By the way, it is a programmable digital display tag that would be on the window.
Oh, boy.
So it is not a QR code. It is not like, hey, let me print it out. It is probably like a very thin screen type of thing that will be on the car. Now, it's already starting in Europe. Here, Walmart is using this technology, obviously not on cars, but on other stuff. And there's a feeling that this will just become the industry standard. And I would worry that those prices are going to change faster than you can write them down on your little notepad.
By the time you've written the check,
right,
you have to void it.
Right. Oh, that red one's nice. Let me just look over here at the blue one. And you come back and the red one's like they see you and they're like, hit the button, and they pump it up $5,000.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think these things won't happen? I think they will. I just don't feel comfortable with them.
However, they won't happen if the entire buying system goes to direct buy from factories.
Well, that's it. And if it goes to, that's the price on the sticker, that's what you pay.
Yeah.
That's one way. Like anything, it's not negotiation time when you buy something off of Amazon. It's you don't want it, you don't buy it. If you don't like the price, don't buy it. I think that's what we're going to get into. I really do. But I just don't know why dealers don't want to change the way they do business, and doesn't feel like you're getting worked over when you go in. Like, maybe people don't want to play that game. Maybe they should say, how do you like to play a sale when you go into a dealer? Do you like to bargain and sit here for 4 hours and work the price? Or do you just want me to give you a price and you decide, like, yeah, that's good, I'll buy it?
Yeah.
Or do you want to play around? I would opt for, tell me what you want to sell this car for without the games.
That's right. Everyone watching and listening to this show has bought a car. tell us what you think, because I think I know what you think. But
right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It should be fun. It should be fun buying it.
It should be fun.
Or at least not annoying. It should be, I'll take that one out there. Let's, let's write it up. And it shouldn't take 2 hours to write up. It should just be.
No, it shouldn't.
There it is. Okay, we got it. We got to clean it up a little bit, and we'll get it to you 2 weeks from now. Anyway, we appreciate you listening to Cruise Control. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
We are going to see you down the road.
Bye. I can.